Court is now in session. Today's case involves a massive betrayal and a sister who thought my $80,000 wedding fund was her personal down payment. We're talking about a woman who stole my future to buy a dream house, only to realize that some gifts come with a visit from the federal government. You're the jury today. I want you to listen to the evidence of this family heist and let me know your verdict in the comments. Am I the villain for reporting my own sister to the IRS, or did she get exactly what she deserved? I'll be hearting the most savage responses. Let's dive in. My name is Maya. I'm 26, and I've been engaged to my fiancé, Leo, for 2 years. We aren't wealthy. I work as a mid-level marketing manager, and Leo is a high school teacher. But we had a secret weapon, my late grandmother Rose. Rose was a Spitfire, a woman who survived the Great Depression and saved every single penny from her 40-year nursing career. Before she passed 3 years ago, she sat me and my older sister, Jen, 30, down. She told us she had set up 2 separate trust funds. One was for Jen, intended for educational purposes because Jen was always starting a new career path. The other was for me, designated for life milestones, specifically my wedding or a first home. I chose the wedding. Leo and I wanted to fly both our families to a small, vine-covered villa in Tuscany. It was my dream. We wanted the long tables, the Italian wine, and the sunset over the hills. The fund had grown to exactly $82,400. Because I'm the responsible one, I didn't check the balance every day. I trusted my mother, who was the co-executor of the estate. That was my first mistake. 4 months ago, Jen, who has never held a job for more than 6 months and currently lists her occupation as full-time influencer, announced she had bought a $600,000 house in a gated community. My mother was beaming with pride. Our Jen is finally settling down. She's moving into the big leagues. I was genuinely confused. Jen, how did you get a down payment? You told me last month you couldn't afford to renew your Amazon Prime. Jen just giggled, swirling an expensive glass of wine. I just got lucky with some family investments, Maya. Don't be a buzzkill. You should be happy for your big sister. I didn't think much of it until I went to pay the first $15,000 deposit for the Italian villa. I sat at my laptop, feeling the excitement in my chest, and hit send wire. 10 minutes later, I got a notification, transaction declined, insufficient funds. I called the bank, thinking it was a security flag. The teller's voice was professional but cold. Miss Miller, that account was emptied 3 months ago via a power of attorney signature. The balance is currently $42. I drove to Jen's new house. It was a palace, white marble floors, a sprawling backyard, and a kitchen that cost more than my college degree. I found her and my mother picking out custom silk curtains. Where's my wedding money? I didn't even say hello. I just stood in the foyer, shaking. My mother stood up, her face instantly hardening. Maya, don't come into your sister's new home with that tone. Jen was in a crisis. Her apartment was moldy, and she needed a professional space to film her content. She needed a brand-appropriate home to finally make her business work. You're young, you and Leo can just have a backyard barbecue. Family helps family, Maya. Jen nodded, looking at her freshly manicured nails. Honestly, Maya, destination weddings are so self-indulgent. I'm actually doing you a favor by helping you stay grounded. Besides, the money is already in the house. I paid the down payment and the new hardwood floors. It's an asset now. You can't sue family for an asset. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I left the house in total silence. For the next week, I became a ghost. I spent my nights at the county clerk's office and my days talking to a friend who works in forensic accounting. I discovered the loophole my mother and Jen thought they had cleverly found. To move $80,000 out of a restricted trust fund without paying the massive inheritance taxes or gift taxes, my mother had filed a series of business expense forms. She claimed the money was a high-interest loan to a consulting firm Jen supposedly owned. The problem? Jen's firm didn't exist. She had registered a business name 2 days before the transfer but had 0 clients, 0 revenue, and 0 actual business activity. They had committed blatant tax fraud and bank fraud to bypass the trust's legal restrictions. They thought they were geniuses. They were actually just criminals. I called my mother one last time. Give it back. Take out a home equity line of credit on Jen's house and put the $82,000 back in the trust. I'll give you 48 hours to start the process. My mother laughed into the phone. Or what, Maya? You'll tell the police? They'll laugh at you. It's a family dispute. No cop is going to arrest your sister for buying a house. Grow up and stop being so bitter. I didn't call the police. I called the IRS whistleblower office. In the United States, the IRS is the one agency you do not mess with. I submitted every bank statement, a copy of my grandmother's original trust instructions, and the fraudulent consulting forms my mother had signed. I also sent a formal tip to the mortgage lender. Almost every mortgage in the U.S. has a fraudulent inducement clause. If the down payment was obtained through illegal means or misrepresented as a business loan when it was actually stolen trust money, the bank can call the entire loan due immediately. Jen's housewarming party was last Saturday. She invited the whole extended family, aunts, uncles, cousins, to show off her success. I didn't go, but I watched the family group chat. At 8:30 p.m., the chat went dead. Usually, Jen is posting photos of champagne and appetizers. Then, my cousin messaged me privately, Maya, what is happening? 2 men in suits just showed up at the front door. They aren't guests. Jen is crying in the kitchen and Mom is screaming at them. It wasn't just the IRS. Because the bank had been alerted to the fraudulent down payment, they had sent a formal notice of acceleration. Jen was being told she had 30 days to pay the remaining $520,000 of the mortgage in full or face immediate foreclosure. My phone has been a war zone for the last 3 days. My mother is hysterical, claiming she might lose her own house trying to bail Jen out of the legal fees. Jen is threatening to sue me for emotional distress and destroying her brand. I sent one final message to the family group chat, family helps family, right? I'm helping you learn that grandma's money wasn't a toy. I've already booked my flight to Italy. I'm paying for it with my own savings now, but the peace and quiet will be worth every penny. So, jury, did I go too far by nuking her dream house, or did the family investment finally hit a market crash? Let me know in the comments.